Hey guys, I'm Tutorial Phil. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm coming back at you with another runway review. To start things off, we're looking at Paris Fashion Week. This is for men's Spring Summer 2020. And the first show that we're going to take a look at, which aired earlier today, is Louis Vuitton. The creative director is Virgil Abloh, and this would be his third runway show. So the venue was right outside of Notre Dame. I think it was called Place Dauphine. Here are some backstage shots of some of the looks together. So you can see it's definitely very floral and spring themed, and there's a lot of solid pastel colors as well. And there are some grays in there as well, and bright fuchsia and cyans that you'll see. So here, starting with the first look, the big difference here is the bag. It's like a triangular keep-all, so that's one of the new shapes introduced this season by Virgil Abloh, and you'll see different variations of this as well. This second look, you can see on the clothing, it's more pastel, and then you have a box. It kind of looks like a lunch box. This is in croc, and it has a signature pin locking mechanism as well. This next look, the glasses are pretty cool. They have a similar shape to the Millionaires. It's slightly different. The lenses are kind of more clear and see-through. Here is another version of that triangular keep-all, but this one is in alligator, in gray alligator. They introduced new boots as well. It has the monogram pattern on it. And then the shoes, this one you see on the side, he introduced a luggage tag, which is similar to his Off-White brand. And then here's a new bag silhouette as well. So here's a new bag silhouette, but it's very similar to the mini soft trunk, I would say, except this one's elongated. I will say the size and the shape of it reminds me more of a women's purse that Marc Jacobs may have done before. And actually this pattern is pretty much the same technique that was used from Marc Jacobs pre-fall 2013. And then here's another look. For this look, you have the floral harness, which is pretty much probably just a showpiece. And then you have new jewelry as well. And I think the daisies are probably from Ambush, because for her line, she has daisy jewelry recently as well. This next look, I thought the blazer was pretty interesting, the way it's cut out on both sides with the vest. And then here you have the triangular keep-all again. However, it is in that velvet pattern, or it's been applied to the outside of it. And then here it's a new blazer style where you have like a crisscross ribbon in the front. And then this is the same bag silhouette that was introduced for the fall 2019 show. It's the soft hat box. It's a large one, although this one I think is missing the handles that the fall version had. This next look, I really like this kind of celadon mint green color, and here he's introducing the steamer again. This might be a slightly longer shape, but what's different here is of course the bungee cords that are coming out of it. I can see if it can be really cool, but I just don't see this for Louis Vuitton. I just feel like adding these bungee cords don't speak luxury to me. I'm thinking this scarf could be interesting if it's like a ribbon scarf like they did before. It would be a nice collectible piece. This one you can see the shoe a little bit more clearly with the clear plastic. And then here's a mini soft trunk. I think it's the same exact shape as the one he did before, but it has the offset treatment with the velvet monogram. And I think the chain here seems kind of like an off-white color, and I wonder if it's a different material this time. So this neck look has like a boxy small leather good, and it's in croc in a baby blue color. For the ready to wear, you can see there's a lot of ties, and that's a theme that you've probably noticed throughout this collection. This next look has the super large, I would say, of the keep-all in the triangular pattern. And this one has the damier pattern offset, which was also done for pre-fall 2013 for the women's line. And then I think the year before they also did the sequins instead of this velvet, and it was also slightly offset just like this one, but they didn't do it in white, I don't think. It's hard to see what shape this bag is in, but the flowers are going to just be for show. Although the handles don't look too flattering the way it's constructed, or at least the way it appears in that photo. Not sure if it's actually going to be commercialized. And then this next look is the fabric treatment on the hoodie is interesting, not totally my style. And then he's doing more of the kind of skirts with these very billowy pants that he did in his last two shows. And then here's just another look with almost like a cape with a lot of draping, a lot of fabric. I forgot that it was a spring summer show for a few looks because I thought it was more of a fall winter just because of all of the layering and fabric. So this is probably the most standout piece for me, and this is probably what they're calling the Monogram Garden. It, from just the photos, it looks like it's astroturf, which I'm not sure if it's a global term, but in the US, it's fake grass that people put on sometimes on their lawns or for parties. And the texture just looks very similar to this. I'm hoping it's not actually that, and I hope it is something like a velvet material that has a soft, velvety texture to it. Because if it was plasticky, then it would severely cheapen this item because this is a hard-sided piece. And based on the pricing for the previous one, which was the one in white Torion leather, the powder white, I believe, or absolute white, this is gonna be almost 10,000 or close to 10,000. So that's quite a lot of money to spend, especially if this does end up just being like hard plastic. So I'm hoping the material is elevated for this. And for this next look, it's another exotic piece in like a purple color. This kind of silhouette, I know it's like the soft trunk, but for whatever reason, it reminds me a lot of what Nicolas Jesquier did. I think it was maybe a year ago, where he had bags with the corners in black leather. I think the glasses are pretty cool here, but they are see-through, and that's not super my style because I need them to be opaque so I can wear them for my Instagram photos. And this bag is his use of his clear epi. He included it in the pre-spring, a couple of pre-spring looks, but this is a slightly different silhouette. I think this silhouette works better as a larger bag, but honestly for me, I don't really know what I would use this for. It's almost too small to be a travel bag. And in this look, here's another iteration of the luggage tag being used on the sneakers, just like he does for his Off-White brand, where he has the bright orange plastic. This one's in like a milky blue color, and the ready-to-wear is a really bright fuchsia, but pretty much the clothes was shown earlier, just in different colors. Here's another look, and the hoodie is actually in a croc, so it's probably going to be 50,000 or more for that hoodie, but the bright color kind of makes it hard to wear all the time. And then the next ones are a couple of gray looks. I didn't feel too impressed by these looks, and honestly the color, the drapery, it just made me think these were leftovers from his fall winter 2019 shows, and it would fit better, I think, for that show. And then this is another gray look, but the jacket has the Monogram flowers quilted on it. And then here's like a travel backpack or camping backpack. I don't think this is a hard-sided, but it has that same treatment with the offset monogram. And I believe it is on leather, but it's hard to know for sure just from these photos. And then here we start showing some of the flower embroidery. And I'm pretty sure these pieces are going to be more of couture pieces or either made to order, or it's just going to be very few made, because traditionally these type of clothing is super expensive. This next look is a pretty standout look. I think it's the only full yellow look. And it reminds me a lot of a raincoat. And it is vinyl, and it has the monogram stamped on it as well. And it looks like this bag has a raincoat as well, which is kind of cool. So this piece has more of the floral designs, floral embroidery on that large coat. And then this is the keep ball in the traditional shape. However, it has the wavy, those leather straps sewn onto the body of it. which he showed, I think, in the spring show in 2019, but it never got commercialized. I think in this show, he'll probably finally get some of these commercialized with that wavy pattern for the leather pieces. And then these floral designs, I believe, are probably painted on. If they're going to be commercialized, then it's going to be screen printed or silk screened on. And I thought this next piece, it would be a cool collectible for that small keychain you see at the bottom. It has the offset damier pattern. And then here's just a different boot style. It looks like it's double layered and it has kind of these floral pattern on it. And then here's a full look with that floral pattern on a kind of a beige khaki base. This might be the only orange look. And the pattern on the t-shirt reminds me a lot of the style he did for the fall winter show where he stylized the logo with graphics behind it or around it. This one I do like. It's kind of cool. It's the pattern is intertwined with this mesh-like net. Here we have another bag. This is like I think they've introduced it before, but it's not a brand new silhouette from Louis Vuitton. It's just in a different treatment. Looks like it is a gray smooth leather. And the key cloche, this might be the first time that it's on a chain, but I still don't like the bungee cords going in and out of it. It just looks a little messy to me. I can see that it looks edgy. It looks very conceptual, but it just doesn't look like it would be a final piece. It almost seems like a student project that got a trunk or a bag like this and then modified it himself, which kind of does play to Virgil Abloh's aesthetic. So I would say it's on brand for him. I'm not sure it's totally on brand for Louis Vuitton. I think this leather jacket is pretty cool. It has the similar motif he's been doing for the past, I think, 2 seasons, where it looks like a blazer. It has those lapels, but he cuts each side a little differently, so it has a different layered effect. This one looks like a leather coat. And then this is the triangular keepall. You can see it has the metal detail he introduced. That chain detail he introduced in his previous collections. This is a smaller backpack than the white one you saw earlier, but it has the rolled up camping, I guess, sleeping bag or blanket on top as well. So here's another one of those baby blue and cyan color. I will say this LV chainmail looking vest is really cool. It can be a bit gimmicky, but it would definitely be like a showstopper piece if you wore it to a party. And then this might be the first time that they've made a mini version of the sac plat. This is almost like a PPM version, I'd almost say. And it's in that light cyan color, but this doesn't have the offset monogram. It's pretty much just the Torion leather, the same one he used for spring summer, but just in a different color. And then this small bag, I didn't see another photo of it, but it seems like it'd be a small triangular pochette with a zipper on top, and it does have a shoulder strap. Here you see another of that crisscrossing ribbon look. And what's interesting is on the back, you can see the closure system, which looks very industrial. Like if you hang picture frames, they have a similar system like that. This is the largest version of this very rectangular boxy bag from this collection. This is in that cyan colored monogram offset. He's showing the monogram see-through as well in that same cyan blue color. And this one, as I found out, being able to actually handle the fall winter see-through bag, it is a probably nylon mesh on the outside, but it's supported by clear vinyl. That's why it retains its shape. If it was just that kind of nylon lacy material, it would be very soft and very easy to damage. So here is another look that's more of a blue-gray with a sweater jacket. So this is another blue-gray look. This bag is like a pleated bag. It reminds me of one of the fabric ones they introduced for women's not too long ago. It wasn't a runway item, but it was kind of like this bag with a drawstring. This blazer, the special thing is on the back. The embroidery is beautiful. It's like a tone-on-tone. And I believe that embroidery is the Notre Dame, which of course had that unfortunate event recently where the spire burned down. And in this look, I think that see-through monogram jacket, more like a shirt jacket or overcoat, is really cool. I really love the colors. And if you look closely on the bottom of the shirt, it almost looks like it's multicolored, and it has pale accents of different pastels. It looks like it has a pale purple, pink, and blue, all layered. And I'm kind of surprised in the collar that he didn't make that signature cut that he's pretty much doing for all of his shirts. And then this bag, the silhouette looks very similar to the pleated one that was just shown a couple of looks ago. This is the first look, which is highly conceptual. I'm 99% sure these won't be commercialized, but it's more of like an art piece where he's using existing bag silhouettes from Louis Vuitton. So I think it's one of the backpacks. It might be the Josh, but it's one of their backpack silhouettes, and then with the regular keep-all behind it. And in the front, you have that sling bag. It is one that they sell. I forgot the name of it. It's like a crossbody sling messenger bag. And then there's a kite on the side as well. What this really reminded me of is what Rick Owens did, I think, for last year's spring summer show. And they did actually sell this, even though it looks pretty much just like an art piece. So this is another sheer monogram piece, and it has the different pastel colors. You can see it more clearly here. The necklace has all of those pastel colors. And then here are more flowers, but it looks like it's crocheted flowers that are knitted together. This is, again, I think this piece is probably made to order only. I'd imagine it's going to be over 10,000. And this is one of their trunks where you can't really see the trunk, but it has the flowers, this kind of semi-dried pale flowers that's used throughout this collection as accent pieces. Here's another dark gray look, and with the hat with those flowers. This is another conceptual piece, except this one just has different backpacks on them. This is another one of those longer rectangular bags, but this is with the garden colored green. And this model is wearing the backpack, the larger one as well, in the damier with the green. And then this bag, the shape is kind of interesting because it can't be flat with the way that it's opening up. So it's probably either gusseted on the bottom, or this is almost shaped like a football. And then here's another steamer, but this is the longer version. I think the one previously with the bungee cords looked taller. I don't think that piece on top is sold with it. I'm pretty sure it's probably a separate piece. And then this is that same silhouette, that rectangular box, and it's alligator, but it looks like they sanded the surface of it to give it that antique finish, but that's really not for me. I think it kind of ruined the exotic skin. And then this is another of those conceptual pieces, but again with different bags on the model, and instead of the other kite, this is a box kite. Here's another white look. I do think the belt, I do kind of like it in those pastel colors. And here's another of that triangular keep-all. And you can see here more clearly how the black velvet material is offset, just like the one from Women's Pre-Fall 2013. Here's another look with the flowers on the bag. This is like almost glued on the surface itself, but this has that wavy pattern. It was interesting on the back. I wasn't expecting it, but they had a lot of these envelopes stitched onto it. The chest harness, or this cutaway vest silhouette, is not going away. It's pretty much been in all of his collections since spring summer 2019, including the preseason collections. This one is made of all daisies. I think it's probably just for show. I kind of doubt it's going to be commercialized, just with the being able to produce this consistently. And he also has one of those micro sac plaits, but this one's just in a different material with a white monogram offset. This jacket does look really cool, and it's going to be really expensive if they do make it, which means it's probably going to be made to order as well, because it has the floral pattern on it as well as the damier velvet pattern. in a very pale mint green color. So I do think this piece looks really beautiful. And then here is that lunchbox kind of design that we saw in look 2, but this one's not in an exotic, it's in the white Monogram Torion. It looks a little bit more off-white here, but it could just be the lighting or because the other pieces that the model is wearing is a super bright white. And this is the final piece. So it's kind of what you saw earlier with the white sheer pieces, except this is now in Monogram canvas, which I would imagine is super heavy. I just can't imagine them commercializing this. It does look kind of cool when you make it in Monogram, but it's obviously not practical to wear it. And that is pretty much the show, so thank you for watching. Definitely want to hear what you thought of it, and I'll be posting some of my selected looks with accessories and bags on Instagram. If you want to check that out, it's the same name as here. It's at SartorialPhil. And if you want to continue watching, this is just the final run through of all of the, I believe, 58 looks. And I will be doing this for Dior as well, and probably Celine. I'm not 100% sure yet. So thanks again for watching. Subscribe for more videos. And like I was saying, check out Instagram if you wanted to see more information on this, as well as my other posts, which I update much more frequently than YouTube. And also in my stories, I tend to preview some new pieces that I get before I get a chance to review them on YouTube. So enjoy the rest of the show, and I hope to see you in my next video.